We're zoomed out here so that you can get a good idea of exactly where this location is. And over here to the left, we have the lake. And then we have the trail. It goes all the way through here over to the Hell Creek campground. This is the lower Hell Creek campground. And then this is the upper Hell Creek campground. More to the north. I'm going to zoom in here. And you think things like, well, I got to get out of here because the snow's falling, and you veer off to the right to try to take a shortcut because you've seen this on Google Earth and it looks doable, but it's not doable because these are sheer cliffs up in here. And I'm going to show you an app that is invaluable when you're trying to do trailblazing in the fog where there's no visibility, you can't see the trail, okay? So we're going to switch over to a different app. Here's the upper Hell Creek campground and the trail that leads on up to Eagles Pass, which is right here where the junction of this trail meets this trail, okay? And then that goes on up to the ridge line that leads to Eagles Peak. And as we saw in the Google Earth image, it looked doable in that you could maybe do a shortcut. But if you look at this CalTopo map, all of these darkened areas where it's purple, blue, and black, you need a rappel rope, okay? The yellow areas, you're going to be climbing, you're going to be a lot of times on your hands and your knees, and you're going to take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back because the sand is probably going to be slipping down. That's how steep that is. Anything in yellow, you're probably going to be climbing on your hands and your knees, and the orange, very difficult to climb in. So what I've done is I've made if you do have to take an emergency trek back, I've drawn in a surgical trail that if you absolutely have to drop altitude because you're getting thick snow accumulations up here and you got to get some altitude loss, I drew in this trek, okay? I drew in this track, and then you can, with CalTopo, you can cling to this by watching this on your phone, and you're going to be just this little dot as you go down this path that will probably get you back safely. And if you look at the actual trail, look at how surgical this thing has been put in. Look at how it basically has very little yellow and orange, which is a steep areas, and how surgically you have to be able to get and navigate down through these steep areas. Now imagine somebody with no visibility, thick fog, snowfall covering the track. You're not going to be able to see your trail going back. So the probability of going off trail is very high. And if this trail is passing through an area with this is dark black like this, that means that if you get off of this trail, you're going to be in a sheer cliff area. And for our search and rescue, this right here would be my #1 priority of looking right here. And if it's covered with snow, you're going to have to wait for the snow to thaw. So just using this as a search and rescue tool for high probability areas is excellent. The other thing is, if you're trying to come back in the thick of the fog, in the middle of the night, close to a new moon, you better have this on your phone and you follow that religiously to keep your dot of where it's locating where you're at on top of this line in order to get back safely. And right here's another area where the impasse would be impossible, because if you veer off of this trail at any point along here, this dark area is a sheer cliff, okay? And there's another one right here. Okay, so to even get past this area when you can't see the trail because it's covered with snow is 30% chance of even making it back to where there's a fork in the road right here where the trail goes to the right. Without CalTopo, where you've recorded your tracks going up so that you can follow those tracks going back, you're going to be off trail. And the potential to get off trail, fall off a cliff is very high. I'm flipping around to the north side. It's going to take a lot of days of sun with no snowfall in order for the snow to melt. The ends of these blue lines are where I found human remains. And I'm not going to show them on here because I don't want to have this thing canceled. But I do encourage you, if you're really into this and you want to understand how dangerous this ridge is, download the Google Earth Pro and find these for yourself. So if I count them, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 human remain sites for past hikers that have probably, nobody even knew they were up there. And what I did, I drew in the fall line. And by doing that, I know with a high probability of where they originated from and where they had fallen from. Human remains resting points after the fall are all covered in snow. That's what I want to emphasize. And if all of these human remain points are covered in snow, it's likely that if another hiker falls off of this particular location, he's not going to be found until someone goes out there looking for remains when the snow is melted off completely. I don't know the annual weather, snowfall, and when it usually accumulates such that you have to wait for the next season for it to melt off. We're looking at the north side here, and the north side of any mountain gets the least amount of sun, okay? Or it's very limited. What's most likely the case is a climber is going to want to be on the top of the ridge because the visibility and the view is much more spectacular, because if you're over here, it's going to block your view of looking down on this side as well. So the probability that people wanting to walk along this ridge ascending is going to put them in danger of something crumbling off or this thing breaking away, and then that would induce the fall. And if you want to download the Google Earth, you have to download Google Earth Pro and go to Eagles Peak, and you'll be able to see this. Anybody in the future that finds this video and understands that this is extremely treacherous, what it might do to future hikers is have them record their tracks going up in the daylight, you know, because of all the things that have been found. And you'll see them for yourself when you download Google Earth Pro. These cornices are very fragile, and that could be what causes someone to fall as well. Download CalTopo, learn how to use it, make it a part of your hiking trips. That's about it for this video. Thank you for watching.